Did you enjoy gaming in 2021? Well, I know I did, but never for quite the reasons I'd expected going in. 2021 was a year of surprises. Elden Ring's time-limited network beta was a surprise announcement, letting a lucky few explore a portion of its world months ahead of its February 2022 release. We then had the reveal of the Matrix Awakens demo, one of the year's most unforgettable tech moments, a true peek into the future of Unreal Engine games, of nanite technology, meta-human digital actors, and beautifully lit open worlds. On the other hand, 2021 gave us a long procession of sleeper hits too, of so-called AA games veering off the beaten track. Returnal turned heads in April as a proper PS5 exclusive from Housemarque, a rapid, effects-heavy showcase for new console hardware. Even games like Outriders stuck out for showing a flash of the unexpected, a superhero twist on classic Gears of War gameplay. A lot of great candidates then, but narrow it down to a top 5 we must. Again, it's been an unusual year, a lot of understated gems, but for my vote, personally, these are the games that made my 2021 just a bit special. In 5th place is PSYCHONAUTS 2. Yes, a game that we sadly missed in our coverage at DF this year. Call it unlucky timing over a busy period, but it doesn't take much hands-on time to realise the quality of Double Fine's work. As a long-awaited sequel to the 2005 original, it sees our hero, Raz, return in his training to become a psychonaut. Surreal, feverish 3D platforming awaits. Each level, each new stage is jam-packed with ideas. In quite a literal sense too, Raz explores the minds of different characters, vividly fleshed out on Unreal Engine. In one moment we're double jumping between dentures, in the next we're setting portraits on fire to find secret passageways, and even navigating an office turned upside down. Purely for its visual design, Psychonauts 2 ranks among 2021's best adventures. There's an almost Nickelodeon quality to each character, each expressively animated, each voiced with the attitude of a Saturday morning cartoon. But it's also in the way it plays. From the jump to the glide, the controls are spot on for the basics. Raz, it turns out though, is also a pretty quick learner when it comes to the art of being a psychonaut. You get telekinesis, pyrokinesis early on, and every new ability from there onwards gives you a perfect counter to different enemy types. Pay attention to the counters and you'll go far. Other abilities like clairvoyance are handy for solving puzzles, to see through the eyes of others for clues. Psychonauts 2 is a wonderful game, a game with a lot of humour and imagination, and one that's been more than worth the 16-year wait. Landing at number 4 is Halo Infinite. After a year-long delay and so much mystery surrounding its campaign mode, I'm glad to say the final package is a winner. The big idea for Halo Infinite? To take the classic Halo formula, the triangle of guns, melee and grenades, and expand the world out to a more open-ended structure. The map is huge. Acres of trees spread out ahead, mountain ranges and ravines fill out the horizon, dotted with side quests you can take on as you like. 343 Industries truly nails this sense of freedom. In fact, to help Master Chief along, we even get a nifty new grappling hook to scale walls, as well as the usual array of vehicles to get around fast. Halo Infinite is in many ways Halo redefined, a new template for the series to work from, and I hope it's added to with more features down the line. I had a lot of fun, but yes, there's room for, well, more. Adding a co-op mode for campaign would be a huge deal for a start. That's been a staple of the series for years now. And equally, I'd like to see more variety to the environment types, the biomes as we call them. Zeta Halo is a huge sprawl, and the day-night cycles, weather, are nice, but there's clearly ways to inject variety here. Snowed over areas, jungles, deserts, all the flavors we've seen in previous Halo missions would be perfect for expansions. For now, Infinite's given us a solid dismount. It's landed on its feet, it's stable and stands up tall as one of 2021's best shooters. For number 3, we have the manga-infused action of Scarlet Nexus. So much of Scarlet Nexus comes together, to be honest, after a rather slow start laden with tutorials. It's worth bearing with. Push through those opening few hours and you get to the gold. Not just the soundtrack, a sparkling fusion of pop, dubstep, rock and ambient that sets its futuristic soundstage perfectly. Not just its art design either, with backdrops etched out in fine printed lines in the spirit of Katsuhiro Otomo's work on Akira. No, rather beyond that, a complex JRPG unfolds that builds on the developer's experience in real-time combat. It takes a different direction to the Tales series that the team is better known for. Physics play a huge role. The battlefield is a playground with items strewn about, well, pretty much everywhere, for you to grab and smash against enemies using telekinetic powers. Yes, the only downside is abilities are gated off early, even moves as basic as a double jump. It's not great, but the wait is worth it. As part of a kind of elite squad, your aim is to track down outbreaks of mutant creatures known as the Others. Each new teammate brings unique skills, and between the roster changes, air combos, dodges, the team attacks, you're given so many strategic options to get through each mission. Visually striking and marked by a memorable soundtrack, Scarlet Nexus is one of the year's big curveball releases. It's an experiment and one that pays off, easily earning a place on this list. Guardians of the Galaxy takes the second spot for 2021. Now, I've babbled extensively about this one already, so I won't go on too much longer, except to say, if you enjoyed the 2 James Gunn movies, if you enjoyed the comics, then Eidos Montreal's effort translates the Guardian's style, its humour and world perfectly into video game form. Forget the missteps taken by the recent Avengers game. There are no microtransactions here, no DLC planned. It's a well-worked, self-contained adventure with a story that holds up all on its own. The characters are redesigned, yes, but the game's take on Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, the whole gang, captures the spirit of the source material so well. It's a joy to explore its worlds too, even the Milano. Ray tracing isn't required, though it is a neat extra now if you're on PC, PS5 or Series X. Planet after planet, every new chapter is richly realised on the Dawn engine, and with some of the better facial animations on the scene today. Easily one of the highlights of the year then, and an easy pick for second place. In at number 1 is Guilty Gear Strive. Okay, I'll admit I'm a huge fan of the series, going all the way back to the PlayStation 1 original, so if mainly for the number of hours spent online, Strive is a clear choice for me, an immediate frontrunner for 2021. Guilty Gear Strive does, however, set a pretty high watermark for 2D fighters in several ways. Firstly, developer Arc System Works takes its mastery of cel-shaded visuals, the technology at the heart of Guilty Gear XR and Dragon Ball FighterZ, and builds on it beautifully. Presented at 4K on PlayStation 5 here, every character is meticulously recreated for the new generation. Frame rates are kind of fixed in place to simulate the look of an anime in motion too. As ever, it creates this authentic visual style that, at first glance anyway, is hard to distinguish from 2D. A lot of work went into Strive 2 to try and clear up the clutter that built up over the years, to streamline, to explain its mechanics for a new audience, while still giving long-term fans ways to build up complex combos. A special final mention has to go out to Guilty Gear Strive's netcode, the online play. Now, the lobby is a bit of a nuisance, honestly, forcing you to track down other players across a 2D style tower. But once you're in a match, there's very little out there to match it right now. A new rollback code is ingrained into the engine, making sure the action flows through latency spikes. It gives us the fairest results we can reasonably expect for online play. Now, perfection is perhaps too much to ask for, but Strive does give us the best case for practicing combos. Even when it's sometimes impossible to have friends round to play, it's an invaluable upgrade. Arc System Works has come a long way since its work on 2D sprites with the PlayStation Original, X2 Reload and beyond, but I'm glad to say the Guilty Gear series finds itself in fine health in 2021, and long may it continue. On review, it's been a great year, but this top 5 doesn't quite tell the whole story. My most played game of the year? That'd be Hades. Without question, Hades is a game that fully deserves the praise it's garnered since launch. Running the gauntlet time and time again, travelling up the layers to escape hell, still hasn't gotten old for me. Even after so much failure, every run gives Zagreus such a suite of options, of combinations as you pick abilities from each Greek god. The best bit really is this nagging outside chance that you could finish a run with an overpowered build. It's an addictive roguelike, pitched against crisp backdrops, wonderful dialogue, and I'm glad I eventually got the chance to play it. Then again, to change tracks, the most fun I had in 2021 was with the Elden Ring beta. As limited as the hands-on time was, with those short 3-hour bursts over a weekend, I loved what I tried. There's so much more to see of its world, the lands between, and as a sample, it's clearly on the right track as a kind of open world spin on Dark Souls. That's it then, my top 5 with special mentions for Hades and Elden Ring. We've got a lot to look forward to in 2022 then, and I can't wait to get it started. But for now, here's hoping you all had a happy holidays and a happy new year too. So, see you in the next one.